Hi, this is Michael with Go Be Strong, and I'd like to welcome you to the Personal Strengths video series. Let's get started. In this video, I wanted to sort of establish the coaching relationship, and that seemed to me best done by introducing myself to you a little bit. So here's me, and a little bit about me. As I said, my name is Michael Pinkowski. I'm a husband and father of two boys living near Seattle, Washington. I have an MBA in finance and marketing from The Ohio State University. And I've got about 40 years of business experience in small to medium-sized businesses. Lots and lots of it since the mid-1990s in e-commerce, and also a lot of it in, let's call it home improvement, home furnishings, home decor category as well. And a couple of years ago, I became a certified Clifton Strengths coach because I genuinely believe in this program. It cost me a bunch of money and a bunch of time to go through the classes and get certified, attend the annual convention, but I genuinely believe in this program. And there are three primary reasons why. The first is the mindset of Clifton Strengths, which is focusing on the positive. As a coach, they tell you all the time, lead with positive intent. That is, look for the good. And I genuinely believe that. I also like the idea of strengths and not weaknesses. I like the idea that people can take an assessment and find out what they're great at. One of the people that I coached, her remark was, "Thank you for making me feel good about who I am and what I'm good at." I just love that positive approach to life. And it may not surprise you that I've got positivity in my top 10. Secondly is the vocabulary. The idea that these strengths give us 34 words that we can all use and talk about. As I've shared my strengths with people that I work with, and I know what their strengths are, we use it with each other and talk about it. And I'll give you a couple of examples. One of my business partners has responsibility. And I will tell him from time to time, I think I see your responsibility showing. And he will say, yes, it is almost always there. Other times he'll tell me, hey, let's dial up some of that positivity. Let's, you've got it. Go get them. And let's use the positivity that you've got to help us find a solution to this problem. So using these words and sharing them with each other is a really powerful way to communicate, because you have this common understanding, this common vocabulary that you can all use. And the third part then is the process. That is, there are things that you can do when you have this vocabulary, and there are steps that you can take that are very specific actions to help you improve, to help your team improve, and to help your company improve. So those three things, the mindset, the vocabulary, and the process, are why I like this so much, and that's why I want to try to communicate these ideas to you. I know that when you get a book or a PDF and you read it, you don't always get all of it out of it. So I thought, let's put together a video series that would help people grasp it a little bit easier. That's what I'm trying to do here. So on the positivity side, let's talk about changing your mindset. You're going to see this phrase over and over and over again, because for me, it is the single most powerful thing in this entire program. And that's Don Clifton's quote that says, "What will happen when we think about what is right with people rather than fixating on what is wrong with them?" That to me is just incredibly powerful. That idea of leading with positive intent, of finding out what people are best at and helping them invest in that and grow that, that seems to be just an outstanding way of looking at the world. In terms of the strengths, here's a quick look at the 34 different words. We'll go into some of these in greater depth. I'll use a lot of them in examples. And I've got individual videos for each and every one of these, along with one-pagers that you'll have access to help you understand either how these strengths show up in your life, or if you're coaching or working with somebody, how to understand their strengths from their point of view and how to help them find greater success. Lastly, this idea of a process. Traditionally, you would get an annual review, you'd be told, hey, thanks for everything, but you need to get better at this stuff. And then you would try to make progress on it, but it was stuff that you weren't good at in the first place. And so they would tell you to get better at it, or they would give you, if you did find success, they would tell you, here's some other stuff that you're not good at, and we want you to get better at. It just forever seems like a terrible way. I don't know anybody that came out of an annual review in my 40 years of business. I don't know anybody that came out of an annual review and said, that was helpful. I feel great. I'm looking forward to the next year. It's mostly a demoralizing experience. And Gallup's own research says that annual reviews on their own have never been successful. And that's versus Gallup's strengths-based approach, which is to say, I want to understand you. I want to understand what your talents are. And then I want to work with you to take those talents, those natural innate abilities that you have, and convert them into strengths. And we're going to talk about this a lot, but I want to set up this juxtaposition of ideas of developing strengths from talents, and then as you get better at that, bring them around, either pick up some new talents to focus on and develop, or keep going with the ones that you've got. But these are the natural abilities, and that's where the greatest outcomes can be found. All right, so in summary, thank you for joining me on this journey. I'm really looking forward to it. And I hope that by putting together in videos and some PDFs, just a different way than the written reports, I'm hoping that you'll be able to get more and more out of strengths. And we can kind of spread this message to you, the people you work with, and your companies. So coming up next is a what to expect video to tell you a little more about the actual process that we're going to go through. And until then, I will say this at the end of every video, please think about what will happen when we think about what is right with people rather than fixating on what is wrong with them. Until then, go be strong.